What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I am No Spoon, and today I'm going to talk to you about, is self-concept important when manifesting? All right. Firstly, if you would like to work with me, link is in the description. I really appreciate you so much. All right, let's just answer the question real quick. Is self-concept important in manifesting? And the answer is, in my opinion, abso-fucking-lutely yes. It is the most important thing. And if I had it my way on this channel, which I do, but it doesn't cater to everybody, I would say focus on self-concept 100% of the time rather than your individual desires. And I'm gonna let you know why here in a second. But first, I wanna take a slight little tangent and let you know that the fact that you have a desire in your heart so strongly means that you are experiencing it on a different level of consciousness that you are not yet aware of. See, God would not put a desire so burning inside of your heart if he did not want you to experience it. There is somewhere in consciousness that you are not yet aware of where there is a version of you experiencing exactly what you say you want to experience right here and now. So all we are doing really is shifting our consciousness into the version of ourselves, of the version of ourselves who is already experiencing that thing, because everything is now and everything is connected. And there are infinite realities, infinite versions of you. And all you need to do is tap into the version of you who is experiencing that. That's manifestation in a nutshell. Cut, plain and dry. All right. But instead of focusing on one desire, I'm letting you know a better sustainable way, excuse me, a better sustainable way to experience greatness, not just your SP, not just financial abundance, not just this particular dollar amount, not this job, not just your perfect body, everything in your life. We are going to make this normal for you. We are going to create the identity who it is normal to experience all of these things, all greatness in life, right? So let's just take an example of somebody who only focuses on their desire, right? We can focus on money first. Let's focus on financial abundance first, all right? For example, you want to make a lump sum of 100K. You just want that dollar amount. You want to manifest $100,000. Okay. Well, what do? You find techniques, you affirm 100,000 times. I have $100,000. I have $100,000. I'm so happy I made $100,000. I made $100,000. And let's just say $100,000 comes in and you stop affirming, I have $100,000. Well, that money is going to come in and leave just as quickly as it came. Why do I say that? Well, because you are not the identity who would experience $100,000 normally. There's not a foundation underneath. You just affirmed, you forced yourself basically into the state of mind of, I have $100,000. And then you got it and you stopped affirming and you stopped putting yourself into that state of mind of, I have $100,000, and then it left. So let's take SP, for example. You are affirming 50,000 times a day, SP is in love with me. I am married to my SP. I am married to my SP. I am married to my SP. I'm married to my SP. We're married. We're happily married. Whatever you're affirming. And then they come back. And you stop affirming 1,000 times a day that SP loves me. Now, once you stop affirming, that SP is going to go away. Have you ever experienced hot and cold behavior before from your SP? Well, that might be because you are putting too much focus on your individual desire rather than building a foundation that is going to make it normal for you to experience these things. I'm going to touch on this here in just a second, okay? I'm just getting through these little examples. So you get this hot and cold behavior because for so long you were forcing yourself into the identity, into the consciousness of SP is in love with me, SP is in love with me, SP is in love with me. They came back in, you stopped affirming, and what happened? You started becoming the old self again. The identity who doesn't feel like they're good enough, doesn't feel like they're chosen, doesn't feel like they're attractive, doesn't feel like they're a top priority, anything. So your SP came in, you became the old self again, and then they left. And then you tried to affirm 100,000 times again, and then they came in, and you stopped affirming because you were like, oh yeah, I got it now. I got them now. Yeah, it's good. Everything's good. And then they left. And you're questioning, why is this happening? Why am I getting hot and cold behavior? What is happening here? Well, that's what we're going to touch on today. So on this channel, we are really going to touch on the self-concept, because we're not here just to get your SP or just to get a lump sum of money. We're going to create an entire identity around greatness, one who experiences the full capacity of greatness in life. So you know, think about things that you have normally, like in your day, like you have a car or you have a house or you have clothes or whatever. You are the identity who it is normal to experience those things, right? Even for the negative things. Everybody gives themselves bullshit all day. Oh, I'm just that person. I'm that person who experiences this. Oh, what else is new? Yeah, why me? Of course, yeah. Oh, it happens to me all the time. You have so much faith and you have so much trust in that. You don't have to do techniques for that. But yet, you're making it completely normal. And what happens? You experience just that. So that's how we're going to make everything. We're not going to pedestalize any desire. And I know, like, I've been there being like, watching these videos of coaches and seeing them talk about self-concept, and I'm over here just wanting to get information on the SP, and I'm like, how is this going to work out? Because if I feel like if I take my focus off of my SP, then they're going to go away. I feel like if I stop putting all my brain power into manifesting my SP, they're just going to go away. Actually, it's the quite opposite. It's quite the opposite. So if you take your focus off of your SP, off of the money situation, off of the health problem, off of whatever, and you start diving into your own identity, that's when shit changes. I promise you, that is when shit changes. Turn to your self-concept. Start telling yourself what is normal that you experience in every single area of your life. Whenever any sort of financial area of your life comes up, it is normal for me to experience an abundance of money. I always have more than enough. Even whenever you're out or whenever you're in a store and you see a price tag and in the 3D that you can't afford that immediately, do not express that internally or externally. We are creating an entire self-concept. We're creating an entire self-concept around normalcy. We're making everything normal to us. So for your SP, forget your SP for a second. Create your own self-identity of, I am the most attractive person on earth. I'm extremely magnetic. Whenever I walk into a room, all eyes are on me. I have my ideal body. I am incredibly confident. I don't care what the outside shows you or how people respond just yet, because that's the old story. Forget about that. We are creating and generating a new story within. So the greatest thing said about yourself: I am always prioritized. I'm always chosen. Everybody is incredibly lucky to be even in my presence. Now, I'm not saying to go say this outwardly to people, right? But internally, the voice going on in your head, the story that you are telling yourself about yourself, needs to be in top tier shape. Why is that? Well, because whenever you are the identity who is incredibly magnetic, who is incredibly confident, who is always chosen, who is always prioritized, who just attracts any and everybody that they want and that they desire, guess who is incorporated with that? Your SP. And at the same time, you have taken your focus off of your SP, so they're not feeling that like spiritual resistance. Because whenever you put all your focus on your SP and you forget about yourself, you are putting all of this importance, all this excess potential, as they say, on your SP. You're placing them above you. This importance, I need to experience this. I don't have this thing, I need to experience it. Here's all my brain power going into, I need to experience this. They feel that 1000%. They hear you, they feel everything about your vibe towards them. So there is the beauty in all that. You get to decide how they show up. You get to decide how you show up. And you get to decide the entire story, because perception is everything and all we have is now. So if it were me manifesting an SP that I wanted, I would focus fully on self-concept. I'm incredibly magnetic. Every freaking room I walk into, people can feel my energy from miles away. Nobody is better than me. I am all that is. Like, you know what I mean? Just like all of the qualities of the most confident person that you can think of. I'm incredibly attractive. Everyone is drawn to me. Like, don't sell yourself short on all of this. In doing so, you make everything normal to you. You make experiencing everything that is great normal to you, because you are the identity who would experience that. And what manifests in reality? Identity. It's not the words you say. It's not the feelings. It's not the emotions. It's not the thoughts. It is what you believe to be true about yourself, about the world, about your SP, about money, about health, about your idea, like everything in relation to you. Whatever you believe to be true, you're going to experience that. Because you have infinite perception and you can perceive anything in an infinite number of ways. So, with having that, you are able to pick and choose any perception that you want, no matter what you see in the 3D. We are cutting the 3D off. We are not taking validation from the 3D anymore. It's done. It's dead and gone. It's the story you've spat out for 25 years. So when you claim to be a new, why are you checking the 3D? It's the old story. Makes no sense. Take validation from within. Seek first the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is within. Seek first the kingdom, and all of these things will be added onto you. Right? So, the next thing is claiming to be a new without needing validation. It kind of just tails off of what I just said. When you can claim to be a new and not need fucking Sarah to come up in the 3D and say, oh yeah, you're looking pretty confident. You're looking really pretty today. And then you go, oh wow, I must be pretty because Sarah said so. I must be feeling really pretty. When you can take your own validation from within, I don't care if Sarah comes up and says you're the ugliest thing that they've ever seen, or that you're the most beautiful person on this planet. You remain the same because you have taken your validation from in here. That is manifestation right there. That is manifestation. Understanding that you write the story and the only validation that you need is within here. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And the 3D is going to get triggered. Like, all right, especially you have this old story over here. Let's just take a little self-concept example. You know, you're not good in social situations. You feel really unconfident. You don't know what to say next. You feel awkward around people. Boom. Here's this little bubble of story around social situations. Here you have it, right here. You want to change that. You want to shift to a new perspective. So you start claiming new things about yourself. I'm incredibly confident. I'm very magnetic. Everyone hangs on to every word that I say. I have the greatest conversations. Everything just flows. Everyone's in love with me. I make the best connections whenever I'm in social situations. Boom, here's the new story right here. Now, this old story over here that you have been telling yourself for however many years is on such an automatic program that the 3D out there is going to throw you things to keep you familiar with this old story, because this new story over here, this confident one, is unfamiliar to it. It's foreign. So it's basically giving you like a double check. I don't know. Like, it's basically being like, are you sure? Like, are you sure that this is our new story? Like, let me just double check real quick. Let me throw you some emotions. Let me throw you some thoughts and feelings and perceptions, and Sarah coming up to you and telling you that you're ugly. Like, let me just make sure we're still in this story of you're not confident and you are awkward in social situations. Let's just make sure. All you have to do is remain in the new story whenever the 3D starts throwing you signs of the past, signs of the old familiar. Now, sorry, that's actually not me anymore. I'm not emotionally reacting to anything because this is my new story right now and I don't give a shit. This is how it's going. I know how reality works. As within, so without. So whatever you throw me, doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. So the power in manifestation is being able to claim anew, whether it's perceivably huge. I'm somebody who's a multimillionaire, financially abundant. I am married to my SP, or something that is perceivably small. I always get a free cup of coffee. Everything always works out for me. I'm incredibly confident. I have my ideal body. Whatever. I'm just trying to spitball here. Whatever your desire is, if you can claim to be that and not need anyone to either validate it or negate it, then you're in your true power right there. Now, I'm turning back to self-concept because I'm telling you it is the most important thing by far. I'm telling you, from the moment that you wake up in the morning, don't reach for your phone. Don't immediately remind yourself of your old self. Immediately start hyping yourself up. This is going to be the greatest day of my life. I am so grateful for another day. I'm incredibly confident. People are so lucky to be in my presence. I'm the most attractive person that I know. I'm going to get the greatest workout ever today. Today at work, everyone is just going to be incredibly pleasant. They're going to do things for me. Hell, I might even go home early today because they love me so much. Money just flows to me. I'm just the identity that just everything works out for. I'm always in the right place at the right time. Create that kind of self-concept around you, and then everything that you think you want separately or individually will just magnetically be drawn to you. I'm telling you from firsthand experience. All right, I'm not just saying this shit to be cool or to talk out of my ass. This is real. You really, really, really need to build a foundation underneath your desire of, I want my SP. I want to be financially abundant. I want my perfect body, whatever. You need to create the foundation underneath that you experience all of these things normally. And it's not even a question about it. I am pure greatness itself. Go off, man. Like, don't be humble in your head. Nobody's going to give you a trophy because you were modest in your head. In your head. Go all the way. Go all the way with this shit. Because I can tell you, I mean, from my own experience, For 25 something years, have said the worst shit in my head about myself. Even when the outside has tried to disprove me and be like, no, you're a confident, you're an attractive person, like blah, blah, blah. I was, in my head, I was never good enough. I wasn't worthy enough. I never knew what to say, the right thing to say. I always needed it to be perfect because I didn't meet the standards in my head. And I went all the way with it in the negative aspect. So what we're going to do is fight that in the opposite direction. We're going to speak the greatest things about ourselves in the opposite direction. Again, I'm not telling you to go up to the gas station attendant and say, did you know that I'm the greatest that there ever was? Like, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the story that you're telling yourself within, it needs to be pure gold. It needs to be pure perfection. And then just watch everybody and everything around you. Watch how they act. Watch how it acts. People are going to, at first they're going to be like, what's going on with you? Something's different about you. I can't place a finger on it, but something's different about you. Stay in that. Don't take that validation. Don't take the negation. I don't care. Stay in that. And then people just start showing up differently. Like they flip-flopped overnight. Why is that? Because you are experiencing a different version of themselves that is resonant with the version of you that you have now become. You cannot experience anything that you are not the vibration of. Now, again, I don't want you to focus on vibration and frequency and am I feeling it correctly and am I at the right vibration, because that can trip you up. I'm just telling you, when you create this identity, this self-concept that experiences greatness all the time in all aspects of your life, everything just falls into place. You don't have to do anything. Everything comes to you. You don't have to go anywhere. It all comes to you. Why? Because you are the identity who would experience those things normally. And identity is what manifests. Normalcy is what manifests. That's it. That's it. So focus on your self-concept. The people out there, I know, I've been in your shoes who have an SP and they broke up or whatever, or you want this particular person and it's been a year or 6 months or whatever, or however long it's been, and you feel like nothing's working. Well, maybe it's because you're placing all of your energy and you're pedestalizing your SP. You're making them separate from you. You're making them more important. So all you need to do is turn inward and focus on your self-concept. I'm the most attractive, most wanted, most sought after man, woman that there ever was. And then freaking go build yourself. Go to the gym, clean your room, like just do everything that version of you would reflect. What would that person be doing? What would they be thinking? What would they be feeling? What would they be expressing? What would they be perceiving? All of it. Treat it as if you accepted an acting role for the perfect version of yourself. Here you are right here, this like a little meek version that's like whatever. And here's the role for the perfect version of you. Imagine you have accepted this role and now you are just in full acting mode. I am the person who is financially abundant, who has the partner of my dreams, and I experience pure greatness. I have my ideal body. I'm incredibly healthy. Everything always works out for me. I'm in the right place at the right time every single time. I catch every single green light. There's never traffic. Every time that I'm in a line at the grocery store, it's moving quickly. Every time I go out to dinner, it's the greatest meal that I've ever had in my entire life. I'm telling you, like, seriously navigate your 3D like this. Because if you become aware enough and you let this shit run on autopilot, you will see that there is a little voice back there negating everything. telling you why it's not going to work. Well, it's probably, it's probably not going to, because, it never happens to us. We're unlucky. It always happens to us. So flip that. It's going to feel like a little bit of work at first, yes, because the old story, the negative voice that is running on an autopilot, has been running on autopilot for however old you are. 30 years? It's been running on autopilot for 30 years. So it's going to take a little bit of effort first to see things differently. But how bad do you want to change your life? How bad do you want to change your self-concept so you can experience these things normally? It takes a little bit of awareness, catching your thoughts, but after a while, this little voice starts getting on your side. It starts becoming your hype man. You don't have to think about it anymore. And that's the point that I'm at right now. I understand this law so well that once I claim something, I am now harboring the frequency of it, and the outside is just like a matter of time before it starts shifting. So I'm harboring this frequency of financial abundance or confidence or magnetism or whatever. And I literally look at the outside as like, that's wrong. Silly. That's crazy that I'm seeing that. That has nothing to do with me whatsoever. And I remain the person that I say that I am. And then slowly but surely, it manifests in the 3D. But I have fulfilled myself so much internally that you get to a point where you don't care if you see it, because you already have it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's it right there. That's the kicker. You fulfill yourself so much within that the outside showing you or not makes zero difference. How you feel and the mood that you have. You already have it. You already have it. For example, if like let's just say you have a car and you thought about your car and you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I have that Subaru out in the driveway. Cool. Go on with my day. And someone came up to you and said, hey, I got you a Subaru. You'd be like, I already have that. Okay. I already have a Subaru. That's how manifestation works. Manifestation manifests externally the identity who you are. So if you are the person who would normally just have your SP because you're always prioritized and you're the greatest option, there's no other choice. You have your SP in here, y'all are married. So when your SP came back, it would just be like, oh, of course. You're not going to get it all giddy and be like, oh my gosh, it worked. You're not the identity who would normally experience somebody choosing them or being the best option, right? So I think that's all I wanted to cover today. Please focus on your self-concept. I'm going to touch on more of these videos in the future because it is just so important. And I'm not going to do any clickbaity shit where it's like, get your SP in 5 minutes or anything like that. Like, we're not doing that. We're going to learn how to get your shit. We're going to learn how to build a strong foundation to experience all of life's greatness. All right. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. This is No Spoon, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.